Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today we have Austin with Paw Partner, a leading software platform system for the pet boarding and daycare industry specifically. Thanks for coming on, Austin. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Aaron. I'm happy to be here.
What led you into Paw Partner becoming, an industry-leading software platform?
To start off with, I never really imagined myself being a software company owner or starting a software at all. That was never my goal. About 2015, my wife, Lindsay, and I purchased a dog boarding, daycare, grooming training facility up here in Washington State. When we started, it was a pretty small facility, only 4 employees, 20 dogs a day. So pretty like small mom and pop that had been around for 15 years, but they had stopped reinvesting in the business and stuff like that. So when we took that over, we really wanted to grow it and make it kind of the premier facility in town. And so we really started reinvesting into the facility itself, but also into our systems and our customer service and really revamping all of our systems. So within a couple of years, we grew it from those 20 dogs a day and 4 employees up to 30 employees and right around 150 dogs a day. So we had a pretty fast ramp up over the first couple of years as we were kind of growing that facility. As we were doing that, I was really enjoying working outside with the dogs. Like never imagined again going back to sitting behind a computer desk. Really found my passion doing that. But as we were going through that, this was again 2015, 16, 17, and we were on a really archaic software called KennelSoft, which is no longer really around. They're an offline software. So I had two huge like file cabinets with paper files. We were handwriting paper, losing a ton of efficiency around the facility. So I tried onboarding with a few different softwares around the industry, and all of the softwares that I was experiencing as I was onboarding with the different softwares, it was really evident that none of the softwares were built by people that actually like worked in the industry or spent the time doing like the thing that we're trying to manage.
Right.
And so again, never really imagined starting a software company. I was just sitting in a cafe with my dad, who also was a part owner of the facility as well, and just kind of complaining about my experience onboarding with the main softwares out there. And he's like, well, you should just make your own. And I was like, I don't code. I don't know the first thing about coding or anything like that. But one of his friends walked in that cafe at that same exact time, and my dad was like, oh, what do you think about this idea of starting a pet software company? Because his friend knew we owned this boarding facility. And his friend's like, oh, that's an amazing idea. I have a brother who has a team of guys that have been developing for 25 years, and they're in between projects. Do you want them to come up and take a look at your facility? And so I was like, oh, sure. Like, not even thinking anything's ever going to happen. I'm just like, okay. So cut to a week later, I had two developers come and giving them a tour of my facility, just giving them like an overview of what a software that I would imagine would look like. Again, not thinking anything's going to happen. And they're like, oh, yeah, we could build that. No problem. Well, when I was doing that, I was thinking like, oh, yeah, to make it work for my facility. But my concept from then till now in terms of the amount of features has just ballooned to be way different software than what I first imagined. But we launched in 2020 and been kind of scraping and clawing our way and really finding traction over the last few years and become probably one of the fastest growing softwares out in the market right now.
That's awesome. It's kind of like you were in the right place at the right time, sort of, And like you were saying, you have this conceptualization where it's, okay, this is what I need to do, right, for this to work better. And you get that step done. And then all of a sudden there's this blossoming of all these other ideas, and it's a never-ending story of improvement and additional add-ons, And I've just seen, where you guys have come from, the first iteration. So it's a great journey.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's funny how
it's been a wild journey for sure.
Some of the existing software back then didn't kind of fulfill some of the needs that you saw. What were a lot of the needs that you recognized in the pet care space that needed to be serviced and that have kind of come about with Paw Partner?
I would say the first thing that really drove me into wanting to do this project was the lack of customer service that I was receiving from the softwares that I was onboarding with. I think the industry has gotten slightly better than where it was in 2015 in terms of that, because there was only 3 or 4 options back then. And so I feel like people weren't investing in the customer service as much. The way that we grew our facility from 20 dogs up to 150 dogs a day was being completely customer obsessed at our facility. It was just blatantly obvious that I wasn't receiving that same type of service from the people that I was using to operate all of my business. I would send in the support ticket and get a response a day and a half later, and I have people in front of me that I'm trying to solve a problem for that I can't understand. Really, a need for better customer service is the first one. Second one I would say would be ability for a mobile app within the industry is just super lacking in our industry. A lot of the facility or softwares out there have mobile apps, but they're all customer facing. And so when we built Paw Partner, we started from the ground up. I had a full-time app developer starting on day one. So we're not going back and trying to like ratchet in some mobile app into our stuff that's already there. That was really, really important to me on day one to have every feature that we can do on the computer that we can do on our mobile app, because I have employees spread out way away, and it takes them 15 minutes to walk back to our front office. If they're coming back to the front office to check off a task that they're doing or something, that's just losing me productivity and losing me money. So
Well,
really
that's
the
great.
mobile app, and then
So that syncs up with everything going on at the front, right? It's going out to the back room, and then anytime maybe so that helps your staff also interact with the pet parents as well, right? So you can take photos in there. I'm just assuming.
correct.
I haven't seen it. The employee facing side. That's really interesting because I didn't even know that that was such a large aspect of what you guys were doing. But I think that's great. You know.
Well, yeah, and that is still, I think, a huge missing part in our industry. We're the only ones that have like 100% of what you can do on the computer, you can also do
Yeah.
on the mobile app. For the staff, that's a huge part, and it's the same exact mobile app that the customers download. We know
Uh,
based on your login credentials whether you're a staff or a customer, and we have a bunch of different permission protocols within staff settings to limit staff members to only seeing it when they're clocked in or only seeing it when they're on your facility property, things like that.
right.
But really, the mobile app was a huge game changer for efficiency for my facility, and we're seeing that from all of our customers as well.
Yeah, customer. It's funny you said customer obsessed because we totally agree with that. I hate being on hold. I hate, just being able to chat and send emails. I like to be able to call somebody and or chat or whatnot. However you want to get that information that you need right away. I was impressed by the size of your support team.
One of the things that we are super hyper focused on at all times is making sure that our customers have the tools that they need to succeed, but also have the team behind them to support it. So, like you said, you hate waiting on hold, you hate not getting called back, things like that. We have now 20 people on that team that are there actively helping customers every single day, and we make that the forefront of everything we do. We don't focus on the money, profit, growth, or anything like that. We focus on our employees because we want to make sure we have an amazing staff. We focus on our customers, and all the rest of the growth and profit and all that just follow.
Yeah, and I can attest to when we were getting the integration done between iDogCam and you, it was pretty easy. You guys were so responsive and just you made it happen, which was nice. You saw the need for your customers, our mutual customers, to have that ability, and you just acted on it, made it happen. And it looks great, by the way. The way that it interacts.
We had a lot of fun building it. When we find something we need to implement, we try to cut all the red tape and just get to it as fast as we can.
Maybe elaborate a little bit more on the core features that the pet businesses love about Paw Partner. Is it mainly the staff kind of application, or is there anything else you want to dive into about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that sets us apart is just the ease of customer booking. We do a lot of consultations with our customers all the time. We hire people that are industry professionals, so we end up consulting with these businesses a lot because all of my employees have been working at facilities before this.
Mm.
But what I tell people when I'm talking to business owners is make it super easy for your customers to book with you, to spend money with you, to do
Yeah,
things. Make it super easy for your customers, and they're gonna continue to use you. We take our customer booking flow very seriously in terms of making sure that it's really easy for end users. It needs to be easy for the older population because honestly, the older population owns a ton of pets as they're retiring. And so we make the buttons really big. We make it really easy for them to do
I
that
love
type of thing.
that.
So we get a lot of positive feedback from that. The staff side mobile app, as we already talked about, the photo sharing you hinted on, we created a internal kind of pet social media in Paw Partner where you can easily curate photos that you're sharing amongst the pet owners and tag them so that they can easily see those pet photos really fast. So that's something that we're really excited about. And then honestly, the iDogCam integration that we've had with you guys has been outstanding. Like we've had a lot of great feedback from customers being able to utilize that not only to generate additional revenue through
Right.
that, but also their pet parents being able to see it directly within the mobile app very easily has been really good.
Yeah, it keeps them in that ecosphere so they don't have to go in and out of anything else, which we prefer that they do anyways, because it's just like you were saying, make it as easy as possible for the end user who's paying the bills for everybody, right? As the pet parents, and and creating the value for them too, right? I mean, making something super easy to use. I love that. Yeah, I could get my parents maybe, who are in their 80s to be able to sign up at a facility, take
There's
like you were
always
saying.
there's always some old curmudgeons that don't want to use technology at any
Sure.
point. So there you have to make it to where staff can do the stuff for them. But we're pretty proud of how many of the older generation we've been able to get to use it
Yeah,
as well.
that's one reason we wanted to go after working with software partners, for the integrations, is because it's difficult to, for anybody to remember passwords, go to different websites, staff. Like if it's all just in one place and you become comfortable with that item, first of all, it keeps everybody in that ecosphere, so they're less likely to move, and transition off. But as long as you're doing your job, like as long as Paw Partner is providing the product and we're providing our product at a high level and the best that it can be in the industry, then people will just maintain in there and they'll keep growing with you, right? It's really easy,
Yes.
but it is amazing how difficult some people find that, like all that, all those ideas to be,
Any
right?
any barrier that you put towards your customers spending money with you, you're going to lose a certain percentage of them. And so, yeah, just make it easy.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. Speaking with the integration that you mentioned with iDogCam, can you just tell us a little bit about how that works on the mostly for the pet boarding facility side? Okay, so the owners of the pet boarding facility or the staff setting it up, if that's easy process, what options they have with that integration to choose from. Like you're saying, they can choose to upcharge, pet parents access, things like that. Um, and then what your pet parent side looks like there, the ease of use, if you can just elaborate what that looks like a little bit for the whole path through there.
It's honestly the easiest integration we have out of all of our integrations on Paw Partner to set up. Our testers trained me in about 3 minutes. I made a couple of really quick videos that kind of walk people through how to do it. It's really easy when you just input the two different IDs that iDogCam gives you, the kennel number and the ERP number. Input that directly into Paw Partner, and then you'll have a camera section that appears right in your settings area. So go into that camera area and you're able to connect. It will list all of your cameras that you've set up through iDogCam. You're just going to connect those cameras to either your playrooms or your kennels, however you want them to be connected. And you're just selecting which camera goes to which playroom or which camera goes to which kennel that's built within Paw Partner. So it's super easy to connect those together. And then you have three different options that you can do while you're connecting those. So you have basically that customers can see them as long as they have a reservation and are checked into that room. So say I have kennel number one, I have a camera for kennel number one. As soon as the dog is checked into kennel number one, that owner will be able to see that camera. Won't have to pay anything extra. They just get to see it as long as their pet is checked into that camera. So that's option one. Option two, as we talked about earlier, you can use it as a revenue generating system. So we've connected it to where it requires an add-on to their reservation. So if you want, in this same scenario where kennel number one, you have a customer that checks into kennel number one, if they don't have that add-on, they wouldn't be able to see that camera. If they do have that add-on that costs $5 a day or whatever people want to charge, then that camera would appear. And then we do have a third part, and this one is mostly used for outdoor play yards or indoor playrooms. This would be kind of an open camera that's viewable amongst the any customer at any time. So any customer that's a customer of your business can see this camera at any time, whether they have a reservation or not, whether they bought an add-on or not. So that's, like I said, very popular again for play yards or playrooms, things like that. The other thing that we did implement was we implemented the ability for it to use iDogCam's backend settings in terms of
Right.
customers that want to block off those cameras for certain times of the day. So say you only want them to see these cameras overnight. We will use whatever settings you have within your iDogCam portal setup and display those cameras only during those times that you have previously selected. So on the business end, again, super easy to set up. The staff can override and see those cameras, even if no customer has a reservation for that, they can toggle through and easily see all those cameras. We have that in 2 different places within the software, right in our kennel assignment calendar and also in that camera section that they can see that. On the customer side, both on the mobile app and when they log in to our website, we have these big icon buttons to make reservations, send message to the business, things like that. There's a camera button as long as there's a viewable camera for that customer. So if your business has one of those like anytime setup like play yard cameras, then that camera button will show for the customer anytime they go into the app. If you don't have any of those like anytime cameras and you just have ones tied to reservations, then as soon as that pet parent's pet is checked into that reservation, that camera button will appear and they'll be able to click into that camera button and see any of the cameras that are tied to their pet's reservation and seamlessly be able to see those. So it's a super basic, easy integration that we've gotten really good feedback and haven't really had to modify
Yeah.
since we've rolled it out. So
We've
super excited about it.
we've heard great things about everybody who's come on board since the integration with y'all, and we honestly haven't had any, hey, how do I do this, or can you help me with that? That it's just we give them the information, and you guys gave us some good documentation that we also have on our website as well. And just like you were saying, we're willing to help any customer that comes to us and says, hey, can you help me set this up after everything's ready to go? No problem at all. But we haven't heard of anyone having any issues, and the pet parents seem to be able to access everything so easily as well. So on our end, we think it's working great as well. For any facility watching this, the typical layout is going to be offering the play area cameras for anyone who's kind of at the facility, generally at no charge, and then upcharging obviously for those rooms or the access to those private rooms. Most people are making 3, 4, 5 times a month what they pay us, for the service to keep everything updated and operational. They're making plenty more on that. The facilities are, and the pet parents are happy too.
I get that at my facility. Like a lot of the reviews we get on Google are like, I love that they have extra options for me to have my pet enjoy extra things. And so giving customers the opportunity to spend more money with you also actually strengthens your bond with the customers and they get more service. So we've seen good feedback from customers on that.
What do you see in the near future with Paw Partner that you may be in development of that's you want to tell people about?
Yeah, so I think AI is definitely the trendy word to throw around in our industry right now. You have people that are creating AI phone answering and AI chatbots for your website and chatbots for the software. I don't necessarily want to be the first adopters of those because they do make mistakes and there's hallucinations in those technology right now. I think within the next few years they're going to get a lot better, but our pet customers and our pet business owners are very particular and make sure that they want to not be double booked for things or to not be giving the wrong information out about their vaccines or things like that. I've tested out a few of the ones that are on the market right now, and I haven't gotten through one that didn't make a mistake in 2 or 3 times trying it. And so I'm not comfortable with releasing like a AI phone system into our software just because I don't want the hallucinations at this point. I do think in terms of medium long term that there's going to be some utility for that. But I want to be able to trust the technology that we're putting into our software. So I do think in terms of AI technology, we're going to be one of the things we're looking at is integrating it into our report card so that it can help with content generation into some of our social media stuff to where you can help it to create that like social media content and stuff like that. So I think there's some short-term utility in AI for those uses. I just don't trust it for customer interaction right now because, again, we're so customer focused and customer service focused. We want our business owners to have the best customer service for their customers. That being said, our medium and near-term development stuff, we're going to be looking at getting more into we have some really good ideas on mobile grooming and some dog training stuff that we're working on. And then we're also working on multi-location, a lot of multi-location linking and kind of hierarchy of multi-location. A lot of our businesses have grown so much that they've now opened up 2nd and 3rd locations on our software. And so we really listen to our customers to help us drive what we want to build next. And so a lot of the things that customers are coming to us with is mobile grooming,
Mm,
multi-location. And I think in our industry, there's a big lack of dog training software that's
right.
really good for dog trainers. We've done a lot of work in that, but we're excited to bring some more new features to the market for that. We really want to be the champion for independent pet businesses because I know how stressful it is owning a pet business. And so being kind of the last of the Mohicans in terms of the last of the software companies that haven't taken the poisonous money, so to speak, is that we answer to our customers instead of answering to a board of investors. And so when we're looking at medium long term plans for our software, we're looking at what's best for our customers and what do our customers want. And that's something that we're really committed to in the short, medium, and long term. So we can hire more support people. We can do all the things that are in the customer's best interest because we're not raising 25, 30, $40 million that we have to make it back on our customers' back. Whether you're a single groomer or whether you have a 5 location business, we're not labeling you any different internally in our company communication.
Right.
We're treating everybody with the same humility, respect, and empathy,
And it's
regardless of